Hello, how are you? I hope you're good. So today we're back with another bullet journal video. So I finished my Harry Potter spreads, and I'm not saying that I'm not going to do any more, but if you're interested in seeing that, I will link it down below and you can find the previous ones over there. I sort of also finished this bullet journal as well. I'm pretty much running out of space, and I decided to go with a new one. This one is Dingbat. I actually ordered this one first, and it's absolutely beautiful, and I love it very much. But it came lined because I didn't check that it was dotted when I ordered it, but I decided to keep it instead of returning it because I actually really love it, so I'm gonna just use it for my notes. But the other one that I got then afterwards was this one, and each different color they have like an animal and their footprints on the inner lining pages. And yeah, this one is actually tiny bit larger than the other one. This is a true A5, which I do prefer. So there were a few things that were quite different from the Leuchtturm or whatever you pronounce them. So first of all, the pages are extremely smooth and it's very fun to write on them. It just slides through it and it's really pleasant, but then I'll have a few issues which I'm gonna talk about them a little bit later. So I asked you on Instagram what themes should I go for and what themes you would guys like to see, and there were a lot of so many brilliant suggestions. I made a list. I'm gonna try and go through quite a few of them. And understandably, since it's September now, a lot of you guys asked for something autumn themed, just cozy. And a lot of you also said something A Court of Thorns and Roses themed. So I just went for autumn court somewhat. And it's a mixture of just generic autumn and then some things from the series. The series is by Sarah J. Maas. So the cover page is this fox, but yeah, let's get into this. As always, take this video as an opportunity to relax for 10 minutes. It's really just chill here. Grab yourself a cup of tea or a beverage of your choice and let's go. So the cover page is, as you can see, this little fox and a few leaves falling through the number 9, which is the month. On the edge there, I added a few sort of like dribbles of color because I just wanted that accent on that side because the fox was slightly miscentered and it was really bugging me. So I was just adding details on left and right. First thing I noticed when I accidentally spilled some of the watercolor on the page is that in my previous journal I could just put water over it and it will take that off. This one doesn't work that way. Also for the accent on the right, I just decided to basically dot or spray some red dots on the line or the curve or where the leaves fall. You'll see that in the close-up later on a bit better because this camera is not picking up stuff at all. So I numbered the days vertically here on this page. This is for a sort of personal diary or work diary. I really didn't like the S there, so I put this on top, some sort of, let's say it's a leaf, and then I put an S with the white gel pen. That always helps me out. I love it so much. And on the right side is just a to-do list. The way that I basically work and plan, because I don't think I've actually gone through it, but I have a monthly to-do list, and then before every week I'll carry some of the points from the monthly to-do list into the weekly to-do list, and then every day I'll carry some of the weekly to-do list into that day, and then I'll try to work through the whole to-do list each day. But it's just sort of like a little technique that I worked out for myself, and I seem like it's working a bit more. Obviously there's bits and pieces that you need to do every day, but it's really good to have this like monthly to do this and then see how much progress you've made throughout the weeks and if you need to integrate it more into the next week. But yeah, as you can see, I've doodled a little autumn court map there, and I came back to the front page to insert these frames just to frame it a little better. Now on to the next page. I'm actually making a separate YouTube spread because it's just been really busy on the channel because you know me, I upload a bit too much. But so just to plan it a bit easier, I just made this calendar view and adding a little branch on the top left. Then I have the ongoing or any deadlines, and I have some plans for the future, an idea basically section. And then I have my list of videos, the F, E, and U at the right. I just tick those as I go. So F is for filmed, E is for edited, and U is for uploaded, because sometimes I'll edit and have it, or film it and have it without the next one. So it's easier for me to just make a list and keep track of that. Now onto the trackers. I actually really enjoyed this spread quite a bit. It just felt a bit more aesthetic, and it was nice to, as much as I like the parchment view, but since I kept with the parchment for so long, for how many months was it? 7? It was really nice to move on to something a little bit different, and because the main series is called Thorns and Roses, I thought it was going to be a bit appropriate to include a rose with some thorns. I just went for a bit more muted autumnal colors. So I'm gonna try and limit myself to tracking 3 things. I haven't decided on what things yet, but I'll put the name of what I'm tracking above that. And on the right side, I just have what I'm gonna read and a little petal to color it in once I've read that. Obviously, I'm gonna continue to update that list, but just at the top of my head, those were the 3 books that I know I wanna try and get through the month of September. Now, this is where I've noticed a lot of horrible things considering watercoloring in this bullet journal. This was supposed to be like sort of like a foggy, really blended in look, but like sort of through the darkness with the, this is Lucian's like golden eye, whatever. This paper is extremely unforgiving for watercolor. If you brush through the same place maybe 3 times or with more color, it will almost instantly start ripping up the page and, you know, picking up the page from the brush. It doesn't blend. It's so odd because it's so smooth, so you think it would be nice canvas to blend stuff, but it really doesn't. So the more water you add, the faster obviously it tears up the page, and it was just getting really, really awkward, so I just left it at that and inserted a little quote. But it was pretty painful, so that was a learning experience. Definitely not bad for details with watercolor, but I cannot do the same stuff that I was doing in my previous one. So if I wanted to make this like foggy or watery watercolor effect, I think I'll have to just cut it out of the watercolor paper and tape it into the bullet journal, which I haven't done before because I'm not sure how much I want it to be, you know, basically fattened up. But this bullet journal does lay down really flatly, which is really nice as well. It does have the perforated pages, so you can take a page out if you mess up, which I also really like, although I do it on like both sides, so usually if I mess one up, there's something that was okay on the other side. And also it doesn't tear off all like easily, so that's really useful as well. But yeah, on the previous page I just had some grain stems, and on this one I had a little lantern, and the 4th spread has a cup with basically mountains, and I know it's more of a dream court thing, but the colors make it like autumnal, right? So it's fine. As you can see, the weekly pages are basically the same. I just have a little illustration and then I leave it blank for my to-do lists, and also for my daily schedule I just insert the date there as I go because I never know how much space I'll need for it. But yeah, this is it. This is the flip through now. I'm really liking the feel of the journal, although I feel like these pages might not straighten as well as the other ones, and it's definitely way more difficult to work with watercolor on these, which is kind of sad because I watched some reviews and they were like, yeah, this is completely fine for a watercolor, and I was really excited about it. I absolutely love how they feel though, because the cover is like a fake leather. These are all eco-friendly, and but yeah, they don't smudge, you're not gonna have like fingerprints, and overall I just really like the feel of it. And it has like a pen holder a bit on the right side, you can see there, but once the wrinkled pages dry, they are really, really stiff, and I don't know yet if they're gonna straighten out after I put some heavy things on top. The Leuchtturm one did, this one I'm not so certain about. And it's, again, as I said, very, very difficult to work with watercolor beyond just simply coloring it in once. Even just the second time you put it over, it starts picking up the bits of the paper, so it dissolves really, really quickly, which is kind of a little bit irritating. But so yeah, that is everything. Thank you so much for suggesting the themes. I'm very excited for the future ones as well. I hope you guys enjoy this. Stay awesome, stay kind, and I'll see you next time. Bye!